So AutoNation just sold 2 of their 4 dealerships. And if you look at all of these dealerships across America, you're seeing exactly this. You're seeing lines and lines and lines of F-150s and any of these big trucks from any of these auto manufacturers just stacking up at these dealerships. Large banks like Ally Financial are being forced to put back more money because of the level of auto loan delinquencies. So Walter Chrysler's great-grandson has even offered to buy brands from Stellantis because of what he sees the CEO of Stellantis doing and the way that they're moving in the company.
My vision is to save Chrysler, the brand that my great-grandfather founded in 1925. It's very important. This is American history right here.
And he had an open letter to them that proposes a graceful and profitable exit. That's his words for the Chrysler and Dodge brands, because he hates where these brands are going. And really, that's what a lot of people who are diehard Dodge fans, diehard Chrysler fans, they're really destroying any of their loyal customers that they did have, because they're going a complete different direction than what the company has been used to over the last decades. You have Stellantis dealers that are trying to get out of the business. So we have this coming from Car Dealership Guy, where he shows that a Stellantis dealer is offering their entire inventory for a big discount. So here's what they're doing. They're trying to clean house. They want to liquidate a lot of these vehicles that are sitting on lots, absolutely not selling. So what they're doing is they're offering $100,000 off their entire inventory. This is 31 new vehicles. They're selling them at invoice, less stock allowance, less holdback, and less $100,000. This is a dealership that is desperate. They want vehicles off their floor plans. They don't want any more coming in because they cannot sell what they have on their floor plans right now. And guess what? Every single day they're having to pay more and more interest on top of the vehicles that are sitting on their lots that they can't sell. All right, so check this out behind me. These are empty spots. Now, these are rows of cars here at the dealer auction, but the problem is usually these spots are filled. Here's the problem. New car dealers are having a hard time selling their cars. That means that trade-ins are not coming in. The way that I, as a used car dealer, am able to get cars from my inventory is I have to buy trade-ins. If trade-ins are not here at the auction, I'm suffering. Here's who else is suffering right now. These auctions, if they have less vehicles to actually sell here at the auction, they're making less money. They make money when transactions happen. When cars get bought, when cars get sold, they get money on both ends. So if they have fewer vehicles to sell here at the auction, it hurts them. So this should be a big tell in this market right now. You have AutoNation, one of the biggest dealership chains in the US. They just sold off 2 of their Ford locations. And guess what? They're probably planning on selling off a lot more in the future. They have just released they just filed to say that they have $195 million worth of assets that is up for sale. And guess what? There's going to be probably a lot of those dealerships in it. That's telling you that someone who has made a lot of money in this car market now they're looking at selling. They're selling stores because they know what we all know, exactly what we're seeing right here. Car market's a hard place, and guess what? It's getting worse. And me as a used car dealer, how this has affected me is because the fewer trade-ins that come to these auctions, the more auctions I actually have to go to. There's more time spent between me and Alex, my mechanic, going to these auctions to actually find cars. We used to be able to buy 20, 25, 30 cars a week, only going to about 3 auctions. No longer can we do that. If we want to turn that kind of volume, if we want to find that amount of vehicles, we have to go to 5 and 6 auctions a week. And it's really hurting our bottom line, not being able to turn volume, not being able to find cars that are worth selling. And I sell cars that are $5,000 and under. Even at that limit, these cars are not good enough for me to sell. So we have to go to more places. We have to look through more cars. It takes more time, and time is money. So you have a lot of big banks in the auto finance space that are feeling the pain right now too. Ally, their auto loan income was down 19%. And here's the thing, they're having to put back more and more money because of auto loan delinquencies. This is a massive problem in the car market right now, where you're having all of these banks put aside money because they are expecting auto loans to go bad. They're expecting more repos. They're expecting to have to lose money because people are not going to pay their bills. All right, check this out over here. Bad engine. This is on a Jeep right here. Bad paint. Here we go over here. Salvage title. This is what we're dealing with right now in the used car market. When cars are coming to the auction right now, people are only trading them in because they have to. Here's a big issue right now. Prices on cars are too expensive. So people cannot stomach that $750 payment a month for a new car, or even an average of $550 for a used car. So here's the problem. They're keeping their cars longer, and that means they're not making their way to the auctions. And the cars that are making their way here, the quality is severely down. This hurts me as a used car dealer because the available cars that I'm able to buy, the quality has been going down and down and down as people keep their cars longer. So because people are keeping their cars longer and quality is down and people are only trading their cars because they have to, guess who is not suffering? Mechanics. People are keeping their cars longer, so more stuff is breaking. So now the line at the mechanic shop is getting longer and longer and longer, and they're able to charge more because they have more business right now. This whole car market, while it's bad for consumers, it's bad for new car dealers, it's bad for used car dealers. It's great if you're a mechanic. All right, check out all these cars right here. These are all repos. This is another phase of the market where dealers are getting hit. So buy your, pay your dealers, dealers that sell cars and hold their own notes. Repos are spiking. They're having to get more cars back and they're in worse shape. So a lot of these cars, they're losing a lot of money on because they had to pay more for them a year ago, a year and a half ago. And now they're getting them back and they can't even resell them on their lot because the customers that had them did not take care of them. And because inventory at these dealerships is stacking up so much, guess what? A lot of these dealerships are actually suffering. Think about all the floor plan that they have to pay on all of these trucks at these dealerships. And guess what? There's not just all of these F-150s. We have rows and rows and rows of brand new vehicles. Over there, that is parking for the parts department, for their service center. And guess what? You can't park another vehicle over there because they're all full of brand new vehicles. All right, so check this out. I want to show you two. All right here in this row, these are all repos. So what has happened over the course of the last 2 years is we've had a lot of buy here, pay here dealers that have had to pay more for cars at auction. And this means that they have to charge more for the cars. But here's the problem. I've talked to a lot of buy here, pay here dealers and they all say the same thing. Well, you're paying for more of your cars, you have to charge more for your cars, but they said that they can't raise their down payments on their vehicles because the consumers, they can't afford it, and they can't raise the monthly payments on these customers because they're barely able to pay them as it was. So here's where the setup for disaster is for a lot of these buy here, pay here dealers. What they had to do, and everyone that I talked to, exact same thing. They extend the loan out. So what happens when you extend the loan out on a 2010 Hyundai Sonata with 175,000 miles? Well, that customer is going to have to fix and replace stuff on that 2010 Hyundai Sonata as they break. And really, consumers that are buying cars from buy here, pay here dealers, they only have money to do one thing. They can either make the payment or they can fix the car. They can't do both. So what ends up happening is anything goes wrong with that car, it winds up here because the customer can't fix it. They're already living paycheck to paycheck. So they're either going to be able to make their payment or fix their car. So when the car breaks, they're done with the car. They throw it away. Buy here, pay here dealer comes, picks it up, and it winds up here at the auction for us dealers to sift through all the garbage to see if there's anything even worth buying. And it's terrible right now at Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler. We have the great grandson of Walter Chrysler that is offering to buy the Chrysler brand from Stellantis. And what he's saying is like, look, we know that you're running this brand into the ground. There's no secret. So please let me buy it from you before you destroy what my great grandfather tried to do so many years ago. So here is what he said in his letter to Stellantis. He said, I believe my plan would allow Stellantis a graceful and profitable exit from a brand that, in my opinion, has no interest in keeping, and it is already trying to somehow quietly exit without a lot of publicity and minimal UAW membership turmoil. He said, I would like to see jobs saved, increased, and the iconic brands rejuvenized, and the iconic brands reinvigorated, and a true proud American ownership that I would plan to have all employees, vendors, and brand enthusiasts eagerly waiting for new exciting autos rather than the tired and uninspiring models still left in the Chrysler Dodge brand portfolio. So what is he saying here with this? Well, The brands go in a complete different way than what consumers want. Consumers want more affordable things and not the same old. Going to this luxury brand is what Jeep, Dodge, and Ram is trying to do. They're trying to unload these Grand Jeep Wagoneers and these Wagoneers onto consumers. That's where they're putting their production and not into things that people actually want. What are they trying to do? They're trying to make more money, and that's all that matters. And it's very clear coming from the CEO of Stellantis right now. Margin, stockholders, his pay, it's all that matters. That's what they're leaning into, and not products that people actually want. And here we go. What I think is really the two biggest problems right now in the car market for a lot of these franchise dealers is one, it's no secret, it's the Ram 1500. You got them sitting everywhere. You've got Stellantis dealers that are trying to go out of business just so they can get rid of a lot of these trucks so they can liquidate what they have. And then you have the second part. You got these F-150s. I know it's the #1 selling vehicle in America right now, but we have overproduced these trucks, and the demand has dried up now, and all these dealers, they're going to be stuck holding the bag. These dealers are going to be big losers in this car market because they're the ones that have to pay interest on all these trucks, and the auto manufacturers, they're not going to help them with it. So because dealers are hurting so bad right now in this market, what it's causing is the wholesale prices to go down in a big way. I've got a Toyota Sienna right here I'm selling for $3,500. I've got a Toyota Camry right here that I'm selling for $3,500. And these are cars that I would not have been able to have on my lot 6 months ago, 12 months ago. But now I'm able to buy stuff like that for like $2,500, bring it to my lot, sell it for $3,500. And this is something that I feel like is going to continue in this market. It's a sign that a lot of other dealers are hurting because this is stuff that they would normally run up at auctions, and now it's falling through the cracks and we're able to buy it here. Lots of weakness that we're seeing at these auctions from other dealers, and it's a benefit for us and a benefit for our consumer. But at the end of the day, this is not really what you're going to see come from most dealers. And really, the biggest loser in this car market right now is still the same as it was 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. It's you, it's the consumer. Because even though there's so much weakness in this market right now, prices are not moving down very quickly. What we're seeing is that, especially on the new car side, dealers are holding on. Manufacturers are raising their MSRPs even in the face of the weakness coming from the customer. Manufacturers' MSRPs continuously go up, and that's really what we have to fix this market. We have to have MSRPs going down. We have to have consumers that are able to buy cars they're not able to buy right now. We need velocity of money to move through the system, because at the end of the day, for used cars to go down, we need new cars to sell. We need that trade-in inventory to go to auctions, so us used car dealers have lots of cars to choose from, lots of cars to buy, meaning that supply go up, prices can come down. When prices come down because supply is up, that means that we can charge less for these cars on our used car dealer lots. This is exactly what we need to fix this market. We need customers to buy more cars, we need manufacturers to produce more affordable cars, and we need velocity of money to move through the system. This is how the car market gets fixed, both on the used car side and the new car side. Manufacturers have gotten away from trying to do volume. They're trying to do margin right now. They're trying to make more money per vehicle, and this breaks the system because we need used cars in the system. We need trade-ins from these new car dealers. These manufacturers continue to focus on what makes them the most money and not what you as the consumer want. So if you have to actually buy a car, what should you do? Well, my advice to you is to be able to buy something that you can actually afford. We have problems with the repos rising, auto loan delinquencies, and if you buy something that you can pay cash for, you don't have to worry about any of that. Buy something that you can afford, and if you are going to buy something that you afford, it's probably going to be something that's used. I always recommend buying used over new anyway. You let the first owner go ahead and soak up all that depreciation. But when you're going to go buy a used car, my #1 piece of advice, I'm a used car dealer. That's what I tell everyone that's going to go look for a used car. make sure you get it checked out by your mechanic before you buy it. You can buy a paperweight really quickly, and if you're able to check it out before you buy it, then that's your first line of defense in actually buying a good car that's going to last you a long time, and make sure you're not going to just waste money as soon as you buy something.